Congressman, the president in an interview over the weekend talked about the United States system of government. He said it's a rough system, then he called it an archaic system. He thinks some things have to be changed. Clearly, he's been frustrated by his inability to get a legislative win. Number one, do you think the United States system of government, Congress where you sit, is archaic? And number two, what would you advise President Trump in dealing with you all where he could maybe get some victories?
Well, I think we have it's a tremendous system. I'll tell you, the system of checks and balances, it's a wonderful system. It's the best system anybody's yet devised. All the others are worse, as far as I'm concerned. Bottom line, I guess if I were the president, I would be moving forward on infrastructure right now. I mean, that's an issue that appeals not only to Republicans, but certainly to a lot of Democrats. And I've always felt, from a strategic standpoint, I would have started off with infrastructure, try to attempt to get some Democrats on board. It'd be very hard for Democrats to vote against that kind of funding. So those are the types of issues I would be pushing if I were the president right now.
And you think that's still on the table, given the back and forth they've had now for 3 months? And we're starting with health care, talking about tax reform. Can he still get through infrastructure with Democrats' help?
Sure we can. In fact, one of the challenges we've had over the first few months is too much of the dialogue on health care has been driven by artificial timelines, arbitrary deadlines, all to improve the baseline for tax reform. And now we have a tax reform proposal, a one-pager anyway, that doesn't appear that it's going to be paid for at the moment. That's going to be another debate. But I think there's been too much focus on these timelines, deadlines, and baselines, and so I think that's where we have to change our approach. Let's have this conversation on tax reform. I think they've put forward a starting point. There are a lot of things in there that I do like, and I think we can have a productive dialogue on tax reform as well as infrastructure, and we can maybe even marry these two issues together at some point. I know the No Labels Group, problem solvers, are also advocating for this type of approach that I've just outlined.